He exploited blind spots to freeload at the wealthy family's home, though the rich man always sensed an intruder in his house. Whenever he glanced behind him, the man would shift position to secretly serve himself food, then shyly exchange glances with the lady of the house. But what no one could have imagined was that the man's stealth technique was learned in prison. It turned out Tae-suk was a college graduate, yet he never held a proper job. Instead, he'd sneak into people's homes daily, brushing his teeth with their toothbrushes, showering in their bathrooms. Strangely, he lived undetected for years. Thanks to his unique squatting method, he'd cruise the streets on his motorcycle, sticking flyers on doorways. If a flyer remained untouched for 3 days, it meant the house was empty. Then he'd slip inside with lockpicking tools to check their landline voicemail, listening for the owner's whereabouts and return times. After confirming these details, he'd stay in the house for a few days. But he didn't just freeload. He'd clean the place for the owner and wash their dirty laundry. Before leaving, he'd even take a photo with the family. This parasitic lifestyle gave him a profound sense of accomplishment. One day, Tae-suk moved into a new place as usual, but what he never expected was that the homeowner was actually at home and had discovered the intruder. Strangely, she didn't make a sound, but quietly observed this peculiar man, watching Tae-suk cook and eat in the kitchen, then wash her dirty laundry afterward. She sensed he wasn't a bad person. Sure enough, when Tae-suk discovered the broken bathroom scale, he immediately set about fixing it. Only after Tae-suk lay down to rest did the woman slowly open the door. This sudden movement startled Tae-suk into panic. Just as their eyes met, the doorbell rang abruptly. The next moment brought the tycoon's curses. This frightened Tae-suk into fleeing immediately, but the mistress suddenly collapsed in a fit of hysterical screaming. Seeing the bruises spreading across her face, Tae-suk realized her husband was a violent man. Yet in that moment, he had no time to think further. He hurriedly rode his motorcycle away from the place, but the pitiful look in the mistress's eyes kept echoing in his mind, so he turned back. Unexpectedly, upon returning, he discovered the wealthy man was still dragging the woman, berating her for answering the phone too late, while striking her. This scene was unbearable for Tae-suk to witness. He made a commotion to lure the wealthy man outside, then grabbed a golf club and struck him. After the wealthy man was thoroughly knocked to the ground, Tae-suk didn't rush to leave. Instead, he deliberately revved his motorcycle engine. Sure enough, upon hearing the noise, the mistress Sunhwa came to the door and climbed onto Tae-suk's motorcycle, and thus, Sunhwa officially joined Tae-suk's squatting life, joining him in posting flyers on others' doorsteps. That day, they snuck up to a new residence. From the photos on the wall, it was clear the man of the house was a boxer, but they paid it no mind. After snapping a photo with the man, they watched TV like a couple to celebrate Sunhwa's arrival. They even drank the homeowner's fine wine. Finally, blissfully satisfied, they collapsed onto the bed. What they never anticipated was the boxer homeowner returning early. Upon seeing strangers in his bed, the homeowner immediately beat Tae-suk senseless. Fortunately, after checking, they found nothing missing. Fearing a fatality might occur, the landlady quickly restrained her husband. Thus, they became homeless. To avoid sleeping on the streets, they began searching for another vacant house the next day. But as soon as they opened the door, they were terrified. Tae-suk closed the door, wanting to find another place. Sunhwa didn't understand why, until she opened the door and discovered an elderly man lying dead inside. Out of kindness, they called the old man's son, but the phone remained temporarily unavailable. They decided to bury the body themselves, then cleaned the floor thoroughly before settling into the place. One day, while eating casually, a frantic knock suddenly sounded at the door. To their shock, it was the old man's son, returned, seeing strangers in his home, and his father inexplicably vanished. The son immediately called the police. They were taken to the station, where officers reviewed their camera footage and discovered they were repeat burglars. Suspicions arose that they had murdered the old man, but investigation revealed the elderly man hadn't been killed, he'd died of cancer. Even stranger, months earlier, Sunhwa had been reported missing. When Sunhwa's husband arrived at the station, he accused Tae-suk of kidnapping his wife and stormed off angrily with her. Tae-suk was imprisoned for illegal entry. Sunhwa's image haunted his mind. To see her again, Tae-suk began practicing invisibility techniques in prison,